The Tory leadership race has been given a new twist as favourite. Boris Johnson boasted that he could defeat Jeremy Hunt in a mud wrestling competition. In a bizarre intervention on Thursday, the former Foreign Secretary was asked whether he felt compelled to challenge him to a nude mud wrestling contest. Quickly, Mr. Johnson quickly responded, "I would defeat anybody in such a contest, were I obliged to do so, but that's not how I propose to win this." Following that claim, bookmakers, Paddy Power have waded into the debate and have slashed the odds on Mr. Johnson defeating his rival. Much like the race to become the Conservative Party leader, Mr. Johnson was priced as the overwhelming favourite at 3/10, which represents a 77% chance of victory. Mr. Hunt was considered an outsider in the contest at 2/1. Although following Mr. Johnson's claim that he would defeat anybody, the current Foreign Secretary disagreed and replied on his Twitter page, "Absolutely not. Currently, Mr. Johnson has been labelled as the favourite to become the next Prime Minister at 1/7 while his rival is rated at just 5/1. The imaginary wrestling battle between the two Tory MPs comes as Mr. Johnson reaffirmed his belief that the UK must be prepared to leave the EU by the 31st of October with or without a deal. In an interview with Conservative Home, Mr. Johnson insisted that those who will work under him, the cabinet, would have to be reconciled to leaving the EU by the end of October. He said, "I want obviously to have a broad range of talent in my government, the government that I will lead, but clearly people must be reconciled to the very, very, very small possibility, and I stress it will be a very, very small possibility, that we would have to leave on those terms." Furthermore, Mr. Johnson also concluded that he is not ruling out the possibility of a no-deal Brexit. Mr. Johnson also did not rule out the possibility of proroguing Parliament. He said, "I'm not attracted to the idea of a no-deal exit from the EU, but, you know, I think it would be absolute folly to rule it out. I think it's an essential tool for our negotiation. I don't envisage the circumstances in which it would be necessary to prorogue Parliament, nor am I attracted to that expedient."